Yo, what it is, you know what it is. It's your man, King Musa. Welcome to the Neal Weaver Radio Forum, the special platform where we engage directly with university leadership about topics that matter the most at SFA in the SFA community. I'm your host, King Musa, and today we're diving into something big, the University of Texas system legislation and what it means for the future of Stephen F. Austin State University. We're honored to be joined by the man with the plan, Dr. Neal Weaver, the president of SFA. And with SFA now officially part of the University of Texas system, Dr. Weaver is here to break down what that means for future students, faculty, and the future of our institution. Introducing Dr. Weaver.
Hey, Musa, what's happening?
Yes,
How are you
sir.
today?
Welcome.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Now, it is June. It's raining all the time. Before we jump into all the fancy
What's up with the rain in June in Texas? And it's supposed to be like
hurricane season.
it's supposed to be, drought season. Holy cow! Every day it rains.
Yes.
But
And
it's
it
good.
tells you it's not going to rain, and then it rains again. So
I feel like we're in Florida.
I was about to say, if you could travel anywhere else during this, summertime and everything, and you wanted to avoid the rain, where would you go?
Well, my son lives up in Illinois, about an hour west of Chicago, and that is a really spectacular place
Yes, sir.
to be in the summer. It's a little cooler. It's beautiful. Everything's green. 85 degrees, no humidity.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And so I enjoy being up there with him.
What was that
and
again?
It's little St. Charles, Illinois.
Illinois. Yeah.
But yeah, anywhere in the upper Midwest in this time of the year is really, really nice. Go to a baseball game, go to a Cubs game at this time of the year.
Yeah.
It's spectacular, right? The sun's out. It's not too hot. You can have a really nice time. So, there's some places to go.
Okay.
North Carolina, Virginia, along the East Coast. I think there's some really nice historical towns and communities to go to if you like beachside. So there's lots of fun places to go.
I got to hang out with you more because the places you're naming, I wouldn't even think about it, So whatever's out there, I'm excited to find out.
I like to find good golf courses, and I like to go play good golf courses.
Yes, sir.
So you got to go to some nice places to play good golf courses.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, that's a good breakdown. But let's go ahead and dive on into today's interview. University of Texas legislation. There's a lot of great changes going on campus. I'm excited for this new year coming up. So being able to dive into this conversation with you today is exciting. So tell us what's going on with the legislation and what that means for.
Yeah, there was, this legislative session that just ended, and they're going into special session, but I don't anticipate anything in the special session being of interest to us as an institution. But the legislative session was, there was a lot of talk. They fired a couple of shots across our bow as far as higher education is concerned.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we ended up about where we started. And so our funding as an institution went down a little bit, but that was a result of enrollment declines from the previous biennium. So in Texas, we get funding every 2 years.
Right.
And so they look at your enrollment, what happened over the last 2 years, and then they fund you based on that. And since we had a decline, we took a cut.
Okay.
And so that was it's about $2.5 million per year, each year for the next 2 years. So it's a $5 million cut over the biennium. We were anticipating that. We got all of our other funding back.
Right.
So, generally speaking, we're in a pretty good place.
Okay.
There was a lot of talk and a bill filed about faculty senates and about curriculum construction and who oversees curriculum and who hires administrative leaders at the institution. And the bill passed, but it really got kind of watered down. Some of what we would have called the more egregious language and concerns, I think, were really kind of tempered through the process, which is good. The University of Texas system will be taking up this legislation at their board meeting in August and giving us direction institutionally about how the board of regents will interpret the legislation and how they will implement the legislation. So the legislature makes the law.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, Board of Regents, now you have to implement the law. And so they don't tell them how to implement it. They just say this is the law.
Mhm.
So then the board gets together and they decide, how are we going to implement this across our system? And now
Yeah.
that we're a part of the system, we're one of 8 academic institutions part of the system. And so there'll be some continuity across all 8 institutions about how it's done. But there's also room in there for each individual institution, personality-wise, culture-wise, to interpret it and to do what's best for their institution. So we're kind of waiting for August to roll around, and we'll
Okay.
get a little bit more clarity. But anybody that was worried about the legislation, I think, can rest assured that
Yeah.
the underlying elements of higher education were not disturbed.
Mhm.
The underlying responsibility of a faculty member was not disturbed.
Right.
And it just provided the Board of Regents a little bit more responsibility and oversight, and
Yes,
making
sir.
sure that we're not continuing to go down a path that is not producing results.
Mhm.
And so, I think at the end of the day, that's a good thing for us
Yes, sir.
institutionally, because we want to be more efficient. We want to be able to take our resources and reallocate them to growing and exciting new options, things that are on the cutting edge of the
Yeah.
workforce and what our students need. And so this will give us a little bit of opportunity to do that a little faster than we have in the past,
Yes, sir.
without damaging what we believe are the core elements of a great liberal arts-based education.
Yeah. Now that's exciting. I understand in August we'll have a lot more clarity and things like
Mhm.
that. But I'm sure this whole time there's a lot of things you're looking forward to. Is there anything you're kind of excited that possibly you're looking to see?
Well, we've got a lot of things going on here at the university that we're excited about.
Right.
We're finishing up our campus master plan, which
Yes.
is really talking about what will the campus look like 10, 15 years from now, what buildings need to be renovated, what buildings need to be demolished, what buildings need to be built,
Mm-hmm.
how will the roads intersect with these buildings, how will our infrastructure, whether it's electrical or sewer or piping, how will that fit into this new look and feel?
Okay.
I anticipate the master plan will have a price tag on it somewhere in the $1 billion range. Now, obviously, that's going to be over a 10 to
Yeah.
15 year
Yeah.
period of time, but $1 billion can really change the way this campus looks and feels and
Mm-hmm.
operates. And so we have a nice plan there. We've got a new strategic plan that we're wrapping up, that I think is really very positive and focused on students and focused on making sure the institution is really challenging itself to become a better institution. And we've had broad-based input across all academic and staff
Mm-hmm.
positions. And so I'm excited to get that not just wrapped up, but to implement
Yeah.
what it's telling us we want to do. Our enrollment looks really, really positive. I can't wait for the students to come back.
Okay.
I think we're going to have one of the largest, if not the largest, freshman class in the
Yes.
history of the institution. And so the 2-year, the funding decrease that we got for the last biennium, I'm already looking ahead to the next legislative session when they're going to have to give us all that money back plus some, because
Yeah.
we're going to grow really fast, and we're going to outpace the declines that we've seen over the last decade. So I've been really, really excited about the way that people have really approached what we've asked them to do.
Mhm.
The enthusiasm for Stephen F. Austin is really high. We've tried to distribute authority and responsibility throughout the organization, and people have really received it and stepped up to the plate. And what we're seeing in the numbers and in the activity and the things that are happening is really, really positive. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to look forward to. I think the Welcome Week ceremony, or the Welcome Week schedule, is
Yep.
looking really great. I think they're going to have 2 weeks of really fun, kick things off time for all the students, and I've seen the schedule; it's really looking good, and I think people are really excited. And I think our football team's going to be good. I think our volleyball team's going to be amazing. I think our soccer team,
I don't want to
won the
skip
conference. So man, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't want to skip over. He said this is going to be the biggest freshman class. Like,
Could be.
this could be. Yes, that's exciting. That is really exciting.
Yeah.
Before all this transition begins, what were some some preparation that kind of needed to take place?
Well, there's anytime we're integrating a 100-year-old institution into a system that clearly has been around for, they've probably been around 100 years too. So our computer system,
Okay.
right? I mean, the equipment that we use, the routers and the,
Mhm.
I don't know all the equipment terms, but
Yeah.
all this stuff. Well, the system has a way that they do that, and
Mhm.
they have companies that they have contracts with. And so making sure that our infrastructure aligns with the system IT infrastructure so that we get the best prices, so that if we need to offload some of our usage to them, that it will interact.
Sync right. Yeah.
Financial. Our entire financial reporting structure had to be completely changed,
Mhm.
not only in what we do and how we do it. They calculate depreciation one way. We used to calculate it another way.
Yeah.
So we have to change our mindset. And it takes 2 or 3 years for our calculations to be done their way and to kind of wipe the slate clean. And then, of course, they're using a completely different software package to do their financial planning and things. So we have to adapt to a new financial system. Campus police. Construction projects. We used to run our own construction projects. Well, now the system runs the construction projects. We manage them locally, but they fund them, and they have an entire real estate construction group that works with the architects and works with us to make sure we're getting what we want. So there's a lot of operational behind the scenes things that are happening as we transition. And we were, when we joined, we were of the impression it would take about 4 years to really get everything cycled through. So this is the end of year 2. And we've made some good progress. We've still got some things to do.
Yes, sir.
But they're looking at our campus now and saying, well, how much deferred maintenance do you have?
Right.
And, because they're looking at us as, you're a brand new member. We don't want you to be in bad shape. We want to address the issues that you need addressed, and we want to make sure we're doing this right. So they come to the table too and say, hey, you're doing some things better than we are. You're doing some things that we want to copy and we want to use at other institutions. The Purple Promise is an incredible example of how the system has come and said, hey, we want to help you grow your enrollment. Here's $5 million in scholarship money, and go find you some students. We joined the CAP program, the Coordinated Admissions Program. So anybody that applied to the University of Texas that didn't get in for whatever reason, we were able to recruit. I think that's going to get us an additional 150, 180 students in our freshman class. So some of the growth that we're seeing is really a direct result of the system saying, we want you to grow and we're willing to help you get there.
Yes, sir.
So there's been a lot of work. It's a lot of positivity.
Okay.
But it's like grinding. You got to come in every day and figure out how this new software package works, and you got to put the numbers in the right places. And sometimes you've been doing it the same old way for the last 20 years, and you're like, I don't understand why they want it this way. And so,
Welcome to college.
it's a process. Everybody goes through change, and the change process mentally is difficult. But really excited to see all of the folks here at the university really embracing what the system can do for us, and how if we get in alignment with them, it's really beneficial to us.
That's amazing.
So there's so many good things that it makes the hard work hopefully worth it at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Now you gave us a little taste into my next question. The Purple Promise, is one of the things coming for incoming students. So kind of give us a little insight into that, and then some other stuff for our current student. Because that Purple Promise, I tell y'all, I wish I could be applying to school right now.
Yes. Well, Purple Promise is a really interesting program. It's a scholarship program for students that want to go to college, that come from families that make less than $100,000 a year. And if they're in that category, the institution pays all of their tuition and their fees.
Right.
And obviously we use their, if they get a Pell Grant, if they get other grants and aid, we package that all together.
Right.
And the system has provided us with about $5 million to close the gap between what what financial aid they get and what their total tuition and fee bill will be. And so so a lot of students are able to do that. The exciting thing for the rest of the students is that we used to use all of our money to do that.
Okay.
And now that the system has put $5
Allocating
million
money.
into it, we're able to free up dollars that are available in other scholarships and other programs to go to returning students and to go to students who don't qualify for the Purple Promise. So it's not that the money that same money is just added onto a $5 million. That $5 million basically replaced everything the university was doing, and now we're able to shift those dollars into other areas. And so we're really excited to be able to offer additional scholarships and find ways to make sure that more students not only have access but can stay in the institution.
Yes, sir.
You know, students that came in under Purple Promise but didn't complete 30 credit hours, were told they lost Purple Promise. Well, we are going back and saying, no, if you get back on track, you can get back into the program because we have the resources available now. We have a lot of students who get towards the end of their senior year, you know, their second semester senior year, and they've used up all their financial aid. Well, now we have a pot that we can go to and say, you know, we're going to get you across the finish line.
There we go.
We want to make sure that you don't have to stop out right now, you know, in your last 13 hours. So there's a lot of things that we're doing to try to make sure that all students have access to more resources, and the system's been helpful in that, but they give us the flexibility to really change the way we do things.
Okay. Now, a little side personal question. A big ad to the student body would be amazing. You know, I definitely think we need more student participation. We have more rooms to fill up. My question is dormitories.
Yep.
You know, within the...
We call them residence halls.
Resident halls. Thank you. I was trying to see which one you recognize it as.
The 70s, they were dorms in the 70s. Now they're residence halls.
But do you consider, you know, how is this transition gonna, you know, help those people who are just like, hey, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, you know, and this is one of the things about being a college student. You know, we're building a brand new forestry and agriculture building. You know, for many of our students, by the time it opens, they'll be gone. Right. And so, well, the same is true with our residence halls. I think in the November board meeting, we'll get approval to start construction on a new residence hall. Our newest residence halls were built in 2011. So they're closing in on 15 years old. Our next newest ones are over 20 years old. And then we have some that were built in the 60s, 1960s.
Yeah.
And Wisely Hall is about 95 years old, and we're still using it. So we know that residence halls are a critical part of what we're trying to put together here. And I think we're going to start the process before the end of this calendar year, but it'll still take 2 years to get one built. It's a $65 million, $70 million project.
Right.
So it takes a while. So what do we do in the meantime? And the other part of that is we have to be aware that that students come to us from very different financial backgrounds.
Yeah.
And you don't want to separate your student body based on the haves and the have-nots, right? And so making sure that there's options at different price points, but that those options are not really good and really bad. Right. So I don't know all the names of the residence halls, but you know, the Horseshoe over there, I think it's 10 and 12 and 14. I don't know what they're named. North, South, something like that.
North and South.
We need to give them like some real names, like dog names or something. But I love those residence halls. I know they're older, and I know that they have the community.
But they're affordable, yes.
They have the community bathroom, but I've been in there, and the rooms are bigger.
Yes.
And in some cases, we allow you to have the room by yourself. And so
2 beds.
you get a big room by yourself, And yeah, you have to go to the corner of the building to go, but it's like, I mean, there's like 8 showers and there's, it was very comfortable as far as I thought. Now,
Mhm.
that's how I went to college. So it didn't cause me any alarm, but so I think there's options for people and for students to really decide what they want and how they want to live. And so our job is to make sure that every different option is as nice as we can make it, is as comfortable as we can make it, and that students from all financial positions might choose what they want the
What's
most.
available? Yes, sir.
And so that's important. And some of the buildings, we had to shut down. What was it, 20 last
20,
year?
yeah.
I mean, that thing was
Hey, I appreciate that.
brutal.
Thank you.
And
Just thank you.
And I know that I know a lot of students that had to move and it was tough, but that building is not safe. It's not in good shape. It's mold and mildew and all kinds of things. And so it was important that we get people out of there.
Fast.
And that building has to come down and we need to replace it. And so, anything we have open, I think is a pretty good building.
Yes,
and
sir.
again, it comes down to style, comes down to what you like. A lot of people like the towers. I don't know that I would want to live in the towers. I get dizzy.
It's an experience.
I get
It's an
dizzy just
experience.
walking around in there, seeing everybody. I get dizzy.
But-
It's too round for me. I don't like it.
When you're in freshman mode, you have energy
Oh yeah.
to run around and
Oh,
everything.
no.
So
I
I understand.
people. There's something for everybody.
Yes.
And what we want to do is make sure that there's not only something for everybody, but there's something for everybody at a price point that they are comfortable with.
Yes, sir.
And we don't want it to be the price point is the only
Yeah.
factor, because then you end up separating your students based on financial ability, and that's not really the way we want to do it.
hmm On the light note, Piney Woods Dining Center Hall. What is the name?
I think it's dining hall. I think.
Dining Hall. Yes, Piney Woods Dining Hall is opening up.
Yes.
We saw the news segment covered by one of like Tyler's news station. Restaurants, everything. Can we get a sneak peek of what you know?
I haven't been in there.
Anything? Okay.
I haven't been in there. I know there's a pizza oven.
Yes.
And I think you're going to be able to do pizzas like at My Pie or something, where you go in and you just pick the toppings and they put it in and pull it out and give you the whole box.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see some of that. There's a
That's
really
so
nice,
exciting.
it's got a weird name, chicken something, but it's going to be a walk-up window.
Okay.
So like when the cafeteria closes at night, we're going to keep the walk-up window open late. And so you're going to be able to walk up and get I think you can get a rotisserie chicken. And there were some others, they mentioned like 2 or 3 things that you could walk up to the window and get, even, late at night.
Yeah.
And so that should be really nice. Cause I know you guys, all like to eat late and you stay up late and all that. So,
I mean, studious. The library's open.
oh,
24
right.
hours.
That's
24
exactly
hours.
what you're doing. You're being very studious, but I think it'll be nice, and you'll still be able to, you'll be able to use your meal plan, and so it'll be it. But inside, I've got to walk through before they really finished it out.
It's almost done.
And
Though.
it's going to be amazing. Everybody that I've talked to that's been in there says it's fantastic and really nice. So I can't wait to get everybody in there, and the food's going to be great, and they're the folks that run it are excited about it. And when they're excited, they're going to put out a good product, and the students, I think, will really I went into the East College cafeteria a few times, and the food was great, but it just culturally, the atmosphere was rough.
Yeah.
And
I try to put music in it. I'm sorry.
So this will be a lot of fun. This will be really nice. I
Yes,
can't wait
sir.
to get it open.
I'm looking forward. Now, another group that really matters in this whole change and application for them, and who actually probably cares a lot about this whole interview, faculty. What does it mean, and how are these changes impacting them? For as far as terms of policies, funding, collaborations with the UT system.
Yeah, the good news is, from a system perspective, they're going to let us run our institution pretty much the way that we want to, and faculty governance is really driven by the faculty, and so there's a lot of conversation right now about workload policy, and I'm excited to kind of get to some finish line on that.
Right.
Institutionally, as a part of the system, they want us to be more engaged in research and generating more research dollars here at the university. And so I think the workload policy will have a lot to do with freeing up faculty to be much more engaged in that kind of research and research funding.
Yes,
And so that'll be a real positive. The things that we teach and the manner in which we teach them is still controlled at the department and the college level. And so I don't really anticipate any change there. I just, what I hope and what I think the system is asking us to do and what the state legislature is asking us to do is to really evaluate our academic offerings and modernize them. That doesn't mean that things we've taught for 100 years shouldn't be taught anymore. It should be taught in a modern way, and they should connect to the local economy and to the local workforce. We all need these things. They're foundational elements of a quality education for a reason, but that doesn't mean that they can't be modernized, and that some of our degree programs can't be modernized to include some of the new technology and some of the new opportunities that exist out there. And so I think that really falls to the faculty, and the more they take charge of that, the less other people will tell them what to do. It's always the way life works.
Take initiative, man.
Yes.
Come on.
And they do. Look, they do. Our faculty are very good, and they are very progressive, and so institutionally we need to meet them and be willing to work with them to create the environment that we want. And I'm excited that we have a new provost on campus. Jordan Barkley is here, and one of the reasons that I was most excited to get him to join us was because of his understanding and approach, not only of faculty, but of how to bring the institution forward in a way that honors what the faculty do and what they're good at, and encourages them to be really aggressive in reimagining how their discipline fits into the world today.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm glad we're on this topic, and thank you for going this direction about it. Modernizing campus is such an amazing thing. Now, we just hit 100 years. We're like 101 right now or something. But one saying I really dislike is you can't teach an old dog's new trick. I guess we're not an old dog, because how do you encourage those who are nervous, for, hey, this is a new birth. How do you bring in that? You're not being replaced. You're not being. It's get involved. What is the sense of inviting a person into change, into a new? It's like when computers were innovatively added to schools. That changed the libraries. Now we're adding AI and all these different softwares and things. What is your go-to attitude to let everybody know? It's okay.
You're right. It is somewhat scary and somewhat frightening. And the internet changed the way that academic courses were taught and what was acceptable from a student perspective. And now AI is doing that again to us. And some of us have been through both of those transitions. The most important thing for me is always understanding that you have control over what happens to you. And if you're unwilling to take control of what happens to you, somebody else will. And so if you are fearful of what might happen to you, if you wait long enough, it will happen to you, because somebody will decide. But the best way to defend against that is for you to take control of what's happening to you. Be progressive. Think forward, get involved, take the authority that you have and use it. We organizationally, we're trying to distribute authority and decision-making throughout the organization. And what you find is that some people like to not have the responsibility so that nothing can go wrong from their perspective.
Be blamed.
That's right. And so you have to, at some point,
Make mistakes.
Make mistakes.
Fail.
And
learn.
That's right. That's what we're asking people to do.
Be criticized. Be critiqued. It is good. That's fine tuning.
That's correct.
That's fine tuning.
You can be somebody who believes that other people are in control of your life, or you can believe that you are in control of your life. And if you're in control of your life, then make the decisions that need to be made and go forward. And you'll find out in some period of time,
right,
how good or bad the decision was. And you make another one and you just keep on going. But I promise you, if you do nothing, somebody will make the decision for you and you may not like the outcome. So I always try to encourage people just to take charge of yourself, take charge of your life, take charge of your world, and make the decisions that need to be made and don't wait.
There we go. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like that. Now,
that's what we ask our students to do, by the way. We ask you to do assignments, think, do something, and then a teacher grades it and says, no, this is kind of good, kind of bad.
Right.
But that's the way we want you to learn. And then when we become
the new student,
when we're not the student anymore, we don't do that. And so it's like, why not?
Yeah.
That's how we did everything up until we weren't a student anymore. Now we're frightened of making an 84 on an assignment.
There we go.
So what?
You're still passing.
You're still passing.
You're still passing. Your D's still got you. You still have a degree.
That's right.
You're fine.
So,
I'm so glad you brought that topic up. How does this partnership expand opportunities for research, scholarships, and more student resources? And then I have a follow-up.
Yeah. I think, being a part of a huge system, including the University of Texas, it opens the door to an incredible number of partnerships, of collaborations that our faculty and our staff have access to that they never had access to before. So just from a collaborative across the system perspective, there's so much more opportunity for us. But a great example is the Archer Fellows program. So our students now can participate in the Archer Fellows program, which we were never a part of before, and they can go serve in Washington D.C. at the Capitol, whether that's in the Senate or in the House. They can be Archer Fellows. The expansion of our opportunities at the state capitol for students to be interns and to work with our state legislators is expanded because of our relationship. That's just one small example of how being a part of a larger system has opened doors for our students. But the number of research projects, the number of I won't say conferences, but all the computer science people in the system get together to talk about what they're doing and how they're doing it. It's a great opportunity for us to see things from somebody else's perspective. So there's really a lot of great opportunity that comes from being a part of a larger system. Our job is to maintain our own unique personality and culture while taking advantage of the great new partnerships that are open to us.
Yeah, it's like being a little brother. And then
a little bit.
You have older siblings, and you're just like, I'm still me, just like to
That's right.
learn what y'all are doing.
That's right.
But a follow up to this question. Now, most people won't say this, and I'm gonna be careful how I say it, but the concept of college being vocational happened to be a misconception that people have. It's I come to college and get a job and everything else like that. When college was truly meant for you yourself will become a better person completely, mind, body, mental skills, everything. And then the job, everything else will fall in place. Like the job is provided with you getting better, right? Now, how the opportunities are there. The doors are open. New ideas are happening. Time's going to take its time. But if you don't see it as this is for me, applied for me, right, you will miss it. And you only think it's a job, and you only think it's a school, you only think it's a brand, you only think it's a system. You see what I'm saying? So my question is, how do you debunk the mindset of this is a vocation? Coming to college is vocational.
Right. Okay. Two things. First of all, I've been doing this job, and before I was a president, I was advancement, worked with alumni associations. I can tell you that over the course of my career, I've met thousands of alumni, and I would say 70 to 75% of the people I meet are not working in the area that they got their degree in. So I got a degree in speech communications,
Yeah.
but I'm a university president. So over your life, things happen. And if you want to move up into managing, if you want to become a manager or CEO or whatever, you have to give up that particular skill that got you your first job. You don't do that anymore. I mean, I don't do graphic design anymore.
Yeah.
I learned how, but I don't do that anymore. In fact, it's so far beyond me now that I can't even understand what they're doing. But so our job from an academic standpoint is to get you prepared for that first job and to get you into something you like and something you will enjoy. Now, the most interesting thing about what we do here and what people dismiss, I think, too often is that there's so much other personal development that happens here that you don't pay attention to.
That's the majority.
It's the
of
majority.
how it's set up.
So
it's installed that way.
That's correct. But so from a student perspective, if you say, I was on the basketball team, or I was in the band, or I was on the cheerleading team, or I was on the Model UN team. Okay, that's fine. I'm glad you told me that that's what you did, but that's of no value to me. If I'm going to hire you, this is what I want to know. Will you show up on time? Will you come to work prepared to do the job that I've asked you to do? Will you be able to get along with the other people that you work with? Will you be able to adjust your behavior and your work when things aren't really going your way?
Your way.
If I need to hold you accountable,
Would you accept
can you handle it? And can you hold your fellow workers and me accountable for our actions? Okay. So those are valuable skills.
that
Well,
are
you know
not
what?
in those books?
You know what, if you're on the cheerleading team, you know what you have to do?
Be on time.
You have to show up on time.
Yeah.
You have to show up ready to go to work.
Yeah.
You have to be able to get along with the other people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to adjust what you're doing on the fly in the moment if things aren't going well. And when it's over, you have to be able to be held accountable by the coach.
Yeah.
And you have to hold your fellow teammates
Yeah.
accountable for their actions.
Right.
So, oh my gosh. So you say you were on the cheerleading squad. No. You developed all these skills.
Yeah.
And you did it by participating in the cheerleading. But what you left college with was a degree in accounting and all these other skills. And I can prove to you that I have those skills because I had to do it every day.
Yes.
That's what the students need to understand. And what they need to embrace is the reason I'm working at the food bank is because I'm developing skills that I'm going to need. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to be ready to go to work. I'm going to get along with everybody.
Yeah, service skills.
Everything that you do here is education, and it's preparing you with the development and the skills necessary to be successful in life beyond that first job, beyond what's, I don't know what's going to come next in your life. I don't know who you're going to meet that's going to say, I really like you. I'm going to give you this great opportunity, but it's in a different discipline completely.
Yeah.
But I see you doing that. Well, you need to be able to say, all right, I know how to work hard. I know how to show up. I know how to prepare myself, and I'm going to learn to do what you want me to do because you see something in me that I wasn't really sure of, but I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
So that's what's so important. And Stephen F. Austin is so good at those things. And I just want students to understand I don't have that student job to make a few bucks.
Yeah.
I have that student job because I'm learning something. I'm figuring out how I'm going to be as a person. I'm on that team. I'm in that club. I'm in that organization. I do this volunteer work. I'm a tutor. I'm an advisor. Whatever it is, you're doing it because it's developing you. And if you understand why you're doing it and you say, oh, I'm showing up on time because I'm starting to develop a skill that I show up when I'm supposed to show up. Because I promise you, you get hired and you don't show up on time the first week, you won't be working there anymore.
You won't have no more
It
time.
doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how well you know your discipline.
Yeah.
If you can't show up on time, if you can't cooperate with people around you, you're not going to be working there.
Yeah.
So everything you want in your life, we're preparing for you for here.
Yeah.
But it's more than just going to class. It's all the other things that you do.
Let's get engaged.
And that's what is part of this whole process. That's why 17-year-olds do it. That's why 18-year-olds do it, right? When you're 30, you don't come here and do the social part, right? You might take a class and all that because you need the information, but you've already gone through the personal development part of your life. When you leave high school, you leave your family, you leave your home.
It's about building your self-structure.
We put you in a little cocoon right here on campus, and we say, okay, we're going to help you grow up.
Yeah.
And we're going to teach you these skills that you're going to need for the rest of your life. And that's what we do here better than most. And we're in an environment where it's really possible. You can't do this at UT Arlington, right? Arlington's a giant city. They got 60,000 students. Most of the students drive onto campus, drive off campus, have a job working at the Wendy's or whatever it is. And they don't have the culture here. They don't have the community that we have. And so I think our students leave better prepared for their life than most students. And that's why our alumni are so connected and so passionate about this institution. I've never been around an institution where the alumni were so connected, but it's because the experiences you have here are so fundamental to who you are as a person.
Yes.
And it's not vocational. It's not come here and learn how to do this one skill. It's come here and figure out what kind of a person you're going to be. And that's what we're trying to do. And I think that's why we're seeing enrollment move in the right direction, because more and more people want that experience. And they want it in a quality, safe, cared for environment. And we have that. So
now I'm so glad you dove into that. This is your year 3?
No,
year 2?
No, it's start of year 2.
You started year 2. Okay.
Yeah, I've made it a whole year.
Yes. Now, I want to know what's your reaction to it? I know definitely coming into it, it's, hey, I have to learn from everybody and see everything. Now it seems like you understand it. Now you seem like you're riding like they said, riding them cowboy.
Well, you do have to learn the organization. You have to learn the culture. The interesting thing is higher education in Georgia and higher education in Texas and higher education in California are generally the same as far as what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish and the manner in which we try to accomplish it. There are certain things that work with different types of students and in different types of institutions. And so just making sure we know what those are and that we apply them to the best of our ability, we become efficient and we become focused as an institution is really important. And so making sure, my job is to make sure we stay focused on the right things, that people feel empowered to make the decisions that allow us to move the institution in the positive direction as quickly as possible. We often get stuck behind policies, procedures, rules, laws that are outdated, and so people use that as an excuse. And so what we really want to do is turn people loose with the authority and power to make the decisions that they know are right and that they've been frustrated by for a long time. And I think that's why we're seeing such positive results so quickly, is that people really have embraced that opportunity. And Stephen F. Austin has an incredible brand in the marketplace. We have incredible alumni. And once we got out of our own way, people responded very, very positively. Potential students responded positively. I didn't anticipate that we would see such a response so quickly, but I underestimated the power of the Stephen F. Austin brand. I knew about it, but I didn't know that it was as well known and as popular and as strong as it was. And so I think we're looking forward to this being really the beginning, not the end, but the fact that we're growing, that we're seeing a lot of students choosing to be here, I think is an indication that if we just keep moving ourselves in the right direction, creating an environment where students get what they want and get the experience that they need, that our brand will keep getting stronger and stronger, and we'll continue to grow. So very excited. And I go back to, we've got about $1 billion worth of construction
Come
and
on.
renovation that we need to do here. So the fact that I better understand the campus and I know where we need to be going as far as creating the environment that we want is really exciting. I anticipate we're going to have cranes in the air every year for the next 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
and we're going to be doing
That's
something
a good
all the
sight to
time.
me.
It is. It is. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be great new stuff and exciting new things for everybody on campus. And, I think it'll really drive some enthusiasm and excitement for what we're doing. And our students, our graduates will, I think, benefit because they'll have access to much more opportunity because of who we're connected to and how we're going to reposition the institution.
Yes, sir. Now I'm smiling. Now I'm happy. I already understand this interview was going to clear up some things, but now to understand and have a deeper understanding, this helps me. But for some of the people who are still in this July season, right?
Yeah.
They still feel the rain. They cannot see past the rain clouds and everything. For Nacogdoches, long-term vision. You're mentioning the construction. You're mentioning all the improvement. What is the new life that's coming to SFA? Like just hey, if you can't see past these rain clouds, just have hope for this new life, like as far as city-wise.
Well, I think our city is doing some really interesting things. There's some exciting things happening in Nacogdoches. If you, the highway, Highway 69,
That
I
one
think,
by Dieball, right?
they've already bypassed Dieball.
Okay.
And what's the other? Anyway, and so they pushed it back about 6 months here. But when that finishes, the amount of traffic coming around Nacogdoches will create a lot of new opportunities. If you haven't been out on the loop, and I guess I'm not supposed to say that it's a big Amazon distribution center, but whatever that is out there is enormous. And you think about the number of jobs that will bring. There are some other really big economic development operations coming to Nacogdoches that I've kind of heard about. I don't know their name or anything, but I know that they're buying land and going to be doing some things. There's a lot of work going on downtown. And when think about this, Elliott Electric is renovating the old Regions Bank building.
Yeah.
When they do that, and it's probably another year and a half away, they're going to move 200 full-time employees downtown into that building. Think about 200 people every day down there, plus all of their suppliers, all the people that have to come visit them. How many more restaurants are we going to need?
Yeah.
How many more entertainment venues are we going to need?
Lodging places.
And lodging, So when you have people coming to town, I don't know how many an Amazon distribution center employs, but it employs some. They're going to be here, and they're going to be part of what we do here in town. So our student population grows. If it goes, 13,000, 14,000, 15,000, there's enough reason why an entrepreneur would say, I'm going to start a restaurant. I'm going to open a, whatever kind of store, clothing store, this or that, because now there's enough people here to support it. So I really think over the next 10 years that we're going to see Nacogdoches really blossom.
Yeah.
There's some cool things happening and some good opportunities. And anytime you get a big highway like that and you start to build along the highway, all those pieces of property become really valuable. And so I think we'll start to see some just industry and some
big value industry.
It's going to transform Nacogdoches. I don't think we're ever going to be we're as big as Lufkin. They just feel different than us, and I don't think we're ever going to feel like they feel.
Right.
And which is nice because we're going to keep kind of our small town feel. But I just think there's going to be enough money and employees running around town that there's going to be more businesses opening, and I hope that we can see some really exciting things for students to do entertainment wise and to keep everybody in town on weekends and enjoying Nacogdoches and what goes on here at the university, but also, having things to do in town that are fun and entertaining. And that makes being at a university a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I'm informed about all the upcoming, legislation and buildings and everything. But how can students and faculties, parents, and everybody else stay informed to find out more information?
Well, gosh, they just have to listen to this little radio broadcast,
Yeah.
and they'll get it all. I don't know. There's, we try to do town halls on campus. We try to have enough meetings and opportunities for people to ask questions and talk about it. We have faculty senate, and we have, staff senate or staff council, and we have chair deans councils. There's all kinds of groups, and we try to communicate and make sure people know and spread the word. The website hopefully will get better over the next year. We're implementing some new strategies on the website that I think will help a lot. Facebook, I don't do social media.
We got a team for that.
I mean, I do.
I trust my team.
I think I do it, but I don't like do it. So
you're the face.
So connect and stay involved and show up.
Yes,
come
sir.
to events, come to activities. It's amazing what you can learn just by showing up.
Just by showing.
I mean, if you haven't been to one of our music concerts, man, come. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's so good, and they only play for like 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic, and it's every Tuesday night, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go do whatever else you're going to do on Tuesday night, and have
Not miss a beat.
and have had a really nice time. And you got to see your fellow students or your students or community members really do something that they love doing, and it's really fun. So I say show up. That's you never know what you're going to learn if you show up.
There you go. Wise words from the man. All right. Anything else you want to shout out before we go?
Well, I'm excited to work with you on this. I hope we do it more often, and like you say, make sure we're communicating and letting people know what's going on. So thank you for doing this.
Go. You're already showing them the new innovations. The conversation's right in front of y'all. There y'all go. SFA is already knowing what to do. But thank you, Dr. Weaver, for sharing your vision and insight into this historical. Is it historical? That sounds like hysterical.
You can call it historical.
Yeah.
It's
historical for me.
It's certainly going to be a special time.
Yes, sir. It's a very historical moment. First event of Austin State University, as we move forward with the support from the UT system, it's clear we're stepping into a new era and for opportunity and growth. To our listeners, stay informed, stay engaged, and don't be afraid to ask questions about how these changes affect your future here at SFA. You've been listening to the Neal Weaver Radio Forum with your host, King Musa. Until next time, Axum and stay Axum Jacks and keep building towards a better tomorrow. Thank you.